Hello, friends. Good evening. So, today again at 9 p.m., we are back for interaction with you. So, we are bringing BITSAT Prime Time with Masterclass Space daily at 9 p.m. And today we will be discussing strategies related to BITSAT Chemistry. Okay. So, my friends, without wasting any time, we will straight away get to the point why strategies related to chemistry are most important. Friends, we understand that chemistry is a topic, is a subject where if you know the answer, the extent to which you can quickly solve the given question, you can gain lot of marks in very limited amount of time. Like in physics, in maths, this question at times require intense calculation. However, many times in chemistry, particularly related to organic and inorganic, you will see that if you are thorough with the concept, you are just like that getting some good marks in real quick time. So that's why chemistry as a subject is utmost important, and we will be discussing how we can maximize our marks in BITSAT 2026 chemistry section. So I'll share a very small presentation with you, and we will cover certain points as yes, yeah. So I'll just put it into the presenter mode. Okay. So my friends, we will start with our strategies for BITSAT 2026. So I think by now you have already heard it a couple of times that yes, BITSAT is a game where speed along with accuracy matters the most. However, when we are talking about chemistry, one thing which is inescapable, which cannot be left at any cost, that is NCERT. So, what we need to do for chemistry is we will treat NCERT as the best available resource. Of course, we will try other things also, but NCERT is a must. Comparing to JEE Mains, where questions can be testing too much of, say, conceptual depth at times, BITSAT won't like trick you with that. Of course, out of good 30 questions, there always can be, say, 2, 3, 5 questions which can be quite tricky, which might not be very straightforward. But what I'm trying to say is that not all of those 30 questions will be bad for you. They can't be like tricking you in each and every single question. And that's where it becomes different from our conventional JEE main pattern. Okay. So idea is that if you can wrap these 30 questions of BITSAT within 20-25 minutes, and that we will discuss how you can achieve that. But yeah, if you can do it, you will get sufficient time to solve other difficult portions of the exam. Okay. And friends, there is no denial about it. In chemistry, the thing is that many times you will be asked a factual question, you would be asked a formula based question, and that's where the advantage lies. You can quickly proceed with it, solving it within, say, maybe 10 seconds if you correctly remember the formula, if you correctly remember that fact. Okay. Yeah. So, first and most important thing, friends, is revising and understanding those topics which you might not have prepared for JEE. Okay. That is the most important thing you need to do specifically for BITSAT. So when students ask that, okay, we have been preparing for JEE main, but now specifically for BITSAT, what should be done? This is the thing which must be done, my friend. So these topics: surface chemistry, solid state, environmental chemistry, polymer, biomolecules, metallurgy. Basically, what I want you to do is you scan the syllabus of BITSAT very minutely and check which topic you have not thoroughly prepared during your JEE main preparation. Okay, that is the most important thing you must be doing. And whichever topics you could not do due to whatever reason, but if they are included in BITSAT, it is your responsibility to cover. Okay, it is very, very important. We cannot ignore these topics. Second thing, friends, sometimes there might be certain topics, say very complex questions of thermodynamics, very complex questions of ionic equilibrium, some really good questions of electrochemistry. Such questions, when they are in JEE main or JEE advanced, they might have created a fear in you that no, I cannot attempt these topics no matter what. But friends, here situation is different. Here you might be getting some simple level questions of those so-called difficult topics also. And hence it is very important that you leave no topic. Okay, you can, of course, it's always, I understand, it's always a preference which topic you want to do and which topic you do not have much intention to do. But please understand this, that if you have not revised a fearing topic, if you have not revised that topic and a very simple question comes from it, and you simply lose marks, and that's where others might get ahead of you. So that is very, very important. So two things most important to do. First thing, scan the syllabus of BITSAT very minutely, not just for chemistry, every subject. Scan it minutely, see which topics you have not covered during your 2 or 3 years preparation, and at least the basic part of them. Revise it thoroughly and attempt many questions related to them so that you are ready for those particular topics with respect to BITSAT. That is first thing. Second thing, even if there has been a topic which you feel is very difficult, you do not really feel like trying those questions, it's fine. Please understand that perception is based on your experience of questions of JEE main and JEE advanced level. It is not what we are discussing here. We are discussing for BITSAT. So never ever leave a topic, even if it looks like very difficult one. You never know. You might get a very easy question. And the same is true even for your exams in general also. At least the basic parts till where you are clear, you should always revise and try those questions. Okay. Yeah. So many students ask us what is the percentage of question in physical, in organic, in inorganic. So friends, I think all of you are very well aware that papers of BITSAT, they are not released publicly. And secondly, each student get a separate set for themselves. So it's like most of the time students are seeing a unique set in front of themselves. So in that understanding, it is very difficult to pinpoint exact, say, comparison. But what I can for sure say that on a good day, it is very uniformly distributed thing. So you can expect 10 in each of them. But yeah, there have been exceptions. People have mentioned that, okay, they got more and more inorganic. There was no physical. But all these things can happen in JEE main also. We have seen shifts where organic was very heavy and less physical chemistry was there. We have seen shifts in, say, JEE main. So those things can happen. But yeah, in general, you can expect a fair distribution among all three portions of chemistry. Yeah. Talking about something specific with respect to physical chemistry, many times you might be tempted to dig deeper and deeper into the concept and everything. But my friends, for BITSAT, do not ever try to skip the formula part. You must remember the formula of physical chemistry. So if there is a question which suddenly pops up that, okay, if a salt is added into water, what might be the pH of solution? I know you might be able to solve it by basics. Okay, let it dissociate, let it react with water and whatever. But what I'm trying to say, if you remember the formula and if you can solve it in 30 seconds, why not to do that? Okay, so please do it. Second, it is very important that you understand that here in chemistry, you have to make quick calculations, and that is imperative because in BITSAT you have to solve 130 questions in 180 minutes. It is not like 75 question in 180 minutes, not JEE main or JEE advanced, which at times even have say just 50 questions, like 48, 51, just like that. No, it is very different thing. So practice quick calculations. And when I say practice quick calculations, it actually means that, okay, yeah, you try to be intentionally fast. At the same time, if that thing is costing you in terms of accuracy, do not do it. But yes, it is important that you are aware that you have to do the question quickly. And of course, we have our important topics as mole concept, electrochemistry, equilibrium, solid state. You have to make sure that you are remembering formula related to each of them and you are doing the questions as quickly as possible. Okay. When we talk about organic chemistry, one of the most important thing you have to keep in mind is remember all the named reactions. Okay. Many times the names are not directly asked in JEE Main or JEE Advanced, but in BITSAT game can be very different. You might have to simply just identify based on the name. So please remember all the named reactions, all the reactions given in NCERT in these chapters. You must be very, very thorough with them. Many times, you know what happens, friend? Uh, in the you can say name of doing questions, we are not focusing on NCERT. Of course, you just have wrapped your boards. It is very good time that these questions, these NCERT are fresh in your mind. Make best use of it for the named reactions as well as for the reactions mentioned in the NCERT. Okay, and of course we have good topics to be focusing on. So GOC is there, carbonyl compounds, of course the compounds related to say nitrogen also are very important, biomolecules, polymers, environmental chemistry, all these things have to be taken care of. Okay, and when it comes to inorganic, friends, it is a, I would say, a double-edged sword which on a good day can help you like anything. If you can remember inorganic chemistry by heart, line by line from NCERT, your day can be saved if you get some good questions from it. Okay. So try to remember as much as you can. Try to make some notes. Whatever you are not recalling, write it somewhere, paste it in front of your study table. And yeah, this thing you have to make sure you are always revising whatever you feel that it is important. It is very important that you feed your subconscious mind with respect to formula, with respect to short notes, so that these things are going inside your mind, and at time of recalling, it can extract that information from it. Okay. Important topics we have to be careful about. So yeah, chemical bonding, coordination compound, P block elements, DF block elements, we have to do them. Okay, that is very, very important. Coming to like a kind of final thing which I would want to say is like NCERT is GOAT, as we say, greatest of all time. You have to believe in it. You have to practice and prepare accordingly. Okay. For all the three things, it is the most important book you have to follow. Of course, what you need to make sure is that in the name of doing theory and all, you should not say skip doing practice questions. You need to practice from real timer based questions. You need to practice from series which are online. You need not to just solve, say, PDF papers or something. They are good for practice, but not for mock practice. They are good for just building initial confidence. Okay. So you must have some good series from which you are practicing these. Some of you might have enrolled in our program. It is fine. Some of you might not have. Doesn't matter. My suggestion is very simple. Practice as many papers as you can so that you get a sense of time, so that you get to know the format, so that you are very well aware which questions to do, which questions to skip, and everything. Okay. And yeah, speed targeting, it's like very important. If you are giving more than, say, 45-second roughly in questions of chemistry, you might not be doing it right. Okay. There might be 2 or 3 questions where you need to spend more time, totally fine. But for every single question, if you are taking more than 1 minute, my friend, you need to reconsider and reevaluate your strategy. Fine. And very important to revise formulas and reactions, named reactions. You have to trust that questions would come from those topics and you have to prepare accordingly. Okay. And attempt full length mock tests. Whichever series you are enrolled in, whichever package you are having, totally fine. But make sure that whenever you are getting time, you are doing some good papers. And I will discuss with you how to do proper analysis also. That we will do in some other day video, maybe day after tomorrow or something. But yes, we have to practice and then see how to analyze. Okay. And yeah, the thing which you have to avoid, okay, you must avoid ignoring NCERT, over solving tough numerical. My friend, this is one thing which you have to be very, very careful. You might have become habitual of solving a very tough, very lengthy calculation, which might require, say, 3 minutes, but it can work in J advance. It won't work here. If you are solving 10 questions, each of them taking 3 minutes, no, that is not the way to proceed in BITSAT chemistry. Okay. And people at times, they after just understanding the relevance of theory, formula, named reaction, they skip taking mocks. No, you do not have to do it. You must attempt mocks as many as possible so that you can do it in the you can actually feel how during the paper it would be like. And it is very important, friends, to get yourself habitual of attempting paper in a slot which you will be allotted during the exam. If you are, say, sleeping in general, taking some nap during, say, 2 to 3, and on exam day, how can you actually be prepared in that time? My point is, try to mimic your exam environment as much as possible to make things work in the best manner. Okay. And yeah, do focus on, say, revising memory based topics. It is very, very important. There is no alternate of an easy question which you are getting in chemistry. If you are able to score some good marks in chemistry in, say, just 30 seconds, there is nothing great than that. So friends, these are some tips and tricks, strategies from our side for chemistry portion of BITSAT. I hope you would find it useful. If you are enrolled in our test series, great. We also have a crash course for English and logical reasoning. Some of you are already part of it. So whatever, from wherever you are practicing, the kind of guidance which we want to provide to you is very useful. It is very pointed and it helps you achieve better and better marks. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we will come again at 9 p.m. with some new topic. Till then,